Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, May 30, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Having a reverse aging health call and all the rest on tomorrow, Friday, at around 9:15 p.m. or so Eastern. 31st of May. How many of us trust this life and let in love? Trust this life, let in love. Not only that, that's a part of us that wants that. There's a part of us that wants to let in love and trust life more than anything. Yet is skeptical, doubtful, prideful, or may not believe you are lovable. You may have 1,000 reasons not to trust in life or love. It may feel more honest that you doubt yourself, others, and continue to protect yourself from trusting in anyone or anything. This is how the connection of the God source gets, what? Blocked. It can be quickly shifted, however. And this happens by simply relaxing your body, mind, and being willing to trust in how good it feels to trust again. You ever been in a situation where, I don't know, a bunch of things happen and you start doubting everybody. You start saying, everybody's bad, everybody's out to get me. And, you slip down that slippery slope of that low, doggy frequency. But as we choose to trust in how good it feels to trust again, and slowly we will actually become more trusting, more open, honest, available, receptive, and eventually start feeling in our soul's direct connection to the God source again. Quote from Osho, the singer exists only in singing. The walker exists only in walking. So is the ego. The ego exists only in clinging and possessing things, in dominating things. When there is no domination, no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, the ego begins evaporating. Super true. You can do a little experiment. Consider that your grand soul purpose in this life is simply to trust in every experience you are having within. Trust in every feeling, every thought, belief, emotion. Trust in your intuition. And each situation you're a part of. Trust so fully and deeply that everything inside of you relaxes completely. Watch how your mind and ego tend to resist trust. Excuse me, at first. Yet in time, they will slowly dissolve into it. When your trust is absolute on the inner world, it will overflow into everyone in your outer world. So, somebody, you might say that, you come across somebody that you kind of go, I don't trust them, or something happens, right? And you might have trusted in them, and then all of a sudden, you don't, Now what happens there is that this is how we get derailed, so to speak. Because then, because you feel, maybe you feel hurt feelings, maybe this, maybe that, betrayed, whatever. But then that it kind of brings you down to be more vulnerable to more of it. You know what I mean? To more of it. Have you met people that they're so distrusting? You can pick it up. I mean, any of us can pick that up without even trying. You feel it. They're so distrusting that it's like no matter what you say or do with them, you get that feeling of that energy that they don't trust anybody, period. No matter what you do or say. That's because they've become so mired because of an event or situation, or a few of them, where they're spewing out that negativity, that real low frequency energy. And what does it do? It keeps them there. It keeps them there. Then they get real ornery, and then they get twisted as time and years go by. So when your trust is absolute in the inner world, it will overflow into everyone in your outer world. Trust in yourself first, in what is occurring within you is the right experience you're learning the most from. Making trust bigger than the actual thought, judgment, or life experience is one of the quickest ways to find the God source within you. Right now, tell yourself that it's possible to trust in yourself 100% this week. Imagine you are doing this and embracing the divine being you truly are. The simple energy of us trusting in this life is the secret to opening the doorway to the deeply eternal loving God source. It's really not a tough job if and when you consider the other possible techniques others are doing to try and reach God. So I invite you, challenge you, and dare you to fully explore this experience of deep trust. Relax fully into it. Let it spread all throughout your life. Why is it that most of us don't trust? Well, because of our experiences and everything, but also we don't trust ourselves enough. As we relax into this moment and become more open, available to this life, all our fears, phobias, and pains from the past cannot be found anymore. They are like shadows that disappear when the sunlight enters. All your hardness and skepticism melts into this sea of this divine trusting energy. Do not underestimate the magnitude of this simple trusting practice. It is powerful enough to transform yourself and everyone in your world. Now there's another great secret to instantly awaken your connection with the great God source within you. This is for those who find it absolutely impossible to let their guard down and trust anything at all. So this week's secret is to enter the black hole of emptiness inside you and let it empty out yourself completely. Merge with the emptiness, and it will help you let go of everything. Just surrender everything inside you and be free from everything. Let go of your attachment to everything, every thought and feeling you're having. Release your addictions. Release your desires, compulsions, wishes, and beliefs into the empty unknown. Throw everything inside yourself into the emptiness until you are 100% empty. You won't be disappointed at what happens next. It's good to know that the magic of discovering the God source within happens in the simple, sweet presence of your own company. When you are truly alone, try out different approaches. Let yourself allow this awesome, indestructible God force pierce through your heart, soul, and consciousness. The pure God source energy is already penetrating you. You're simply not aware of it. The God source will never reject or deny you. It is always ready for you to open, wanting to move into you. And there's nothing you can do to change that. It's what we are. You must always be aware, however, that the mind is always trying to make something happen. Always, always. It will try to pave a straight, firm path towards what it thinks God is. Yet it's this narrow mind habit which causes us to miss God every time. This universal God source is too vast, deep, and enormous for the mind to contain. The moment you empty your mind, let down your resistance to love, you discover how fun it is to bow down to the divine. It's in this moment that the God source flows into you. When you're the most surrendered, still, and in the most humble state of ecstasy. Imagination is more important than knowledge. We all, it's interesting for all of us that on this planet that we have attachment. We have attachments to things. We have attachments to people. I mean, we develop attachments without even knowing about it. And as Siddhartha or Buddha once said, attachment leads to suffering. And it does. Whenever we're attached to something, you ever notice, when you're attached to something, I mean really attached, you suffer. You can love somebody but not be attached to them. Be in love with somebody but not be attached to them. You can have animals, love them, but not be attached to them. You see what I mean? Now, what is meant by this was that whenever we become attached to a desire, belief, thought, feeling, or anything for that matter, we needlessly suffer. Needlessly suffer. The suffering arises because attachment is an energy born out of what? Attachment is an energy born out of fear. Example. Someone says that they just can't stand being alone. Okay? They'll do anything to have someone next to them or with them so they don't feel alone. And they will do anything to have that for themselves. And it doesn't mean that there is a great love there or anything. It just means to have somebody with them because they're what? Fearful of being by themselves. That happens all the time. Now, the suffering arises because attachment is an energy born out of fear, lack, and disconnection to our source. So what do? We tighten our grip on certain desires because deep down we believe we need to manifest them in order to feel safe, happy, secure, or loved. And this overly tight grip on this life simply means we are not feeling the natural connection in our hearts to the great healing source and spirit within ourselves. And as long as the mind continues to circulate in this vicious attachment dilemma, we can never truly relax and fully access this ever-expanding, all-loving spiritual source that radiates at our very core. So whenever happiness is determined by any thought, feeling, or external event, then we become a slave to it. And the great egoic cycle of suffering begins. Expectations and disappointments are great examples of how attachment leads to suffering. If the big desire we had today manifests or doesn't manifest, it then becomes the main leading cause of our happiness and unhappiness. The very instant we become attached to a thought, we end up forgetting about love, joy, freedom, and the endless possible things we can be thankful for. And the grip onto any thought narrows and eventually blocks our energy, creativity, and vibration. So we cannot perceive any new ideas or options available. So perhaps you're asking, how can we be passionate about our desires in this life and yet approach them in a non-attached, easygoing way? Well, the middle path. If and when we are too attached or too unattached to our desires, they won't manifest. We must choose to hold the baby bird in our hand, so to speak, not too tight or we'll suffocate it, and not too loose or it will fly away. The real secret is finding our natural connection to Source that is always coming from trust and is free from worry and fear. Our desires have this natural tendency to manifest faster than the speed of light when we are walking down the middle of this road. We all have attachment. I mean, it's not like only a few people have it. One way, shape, form, or another, we fall into attachment. Okay, so have you ever been attached to anything and you start thinking, oh, what would you do if you didn't have it or you lost it? It's a habit that we learned from society. We are suffering because we are gripping too tightly or too loosely onto our thoughts. The mind gets hooked into beliefs that say, they say, you ever said this to yourself? I don't have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Or the mind cannot hold long enough onto the idea of feeling that I do have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Whatever we believe is what we create. I believe more and more people understanding. Whatever we believe is what we create. And thus we manifest this amazing, effortless, manifesting adventure or a perpetual daily struggle to survive. Ask yourself, which one are you? It's not getting what you want. It's about wanting what you've got. Sheryl Crow. The secret to enlightenment is finding the middle path to find the middle. We must choose to look within ourselves stepping out of the periphery and towards our total center. The real work we are here to do, not just on the outer world, yet also the inner. All our outer struggling is a pointer directing us back inside. Suffering is a great teacher, showing us there where not to go and what not to do anymore. Pain is like a hot poker, directing us to back off and rest inside until we are finding the middle path. And the best way, you look at a coin, okay, there's three sides to the coin. There's tails, heads, and then there's the edge. And the edge is the middle path. So in the middle path, you've got to make sure that you're balanced all the time, or you could fall off of the middle path. See what I mean? Because it's not that big of a flat surface as the left side or the right side of the coin. When we listen to our bodies, we can naturally find a way to loosen or tighten our grip on this life, and this ultimate freedom simply finds us. It's quite magical how it all unfolds. This universe rewards us when we truly trust in it. See? You ever talk to the universe when you're with yourself? If and when you want to see if you're too attached to a thought, just notice what's happening in your body. Whenever the mind becomes overly attached to any idea, a tension in the body does form when we think that thought. You ever experienced that? The more tension we have in our body, the less receptive we become to allowing that desired outcome into our life. And the mind tends to be a cling master and the ultimate skeptic of life. It hasn't learned how to trust this life. And so we need to retrain it. Whenever the mind thinks this universal power is not real, permanent, and trustworthy, we need to remind it that it is. When we can stop clinging to thoughts, things, feelings, people, and memories, we will begin to trust this universe will provide all of our needs. We can stop working so hard. We can retire our illusion and take a rest from our daily worrying and fears. We can use our precious time appreciating and basking in the divine source that is already here now. Challenges are what make this life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Joshua J. Marine. Now, if you explore a powerful healing exercise right now, this is a great exercise, and it can actually be a lot of fun to do. It will give you instant clarity on how to find your middle path. Here it is. Write down every belief that you think is causing you suffering. It gets quite interesting. Write down every belief that you think is causing you suffering. Take a closer look at what you are deeply attached to having, being, or doing. Find out what are the things, beliefs, judgments, and opinions that your mind is currently attached to. That may take a few weeks to completely unravel yourself. Yet keep looking and continuously searching for what is the root cause of your suffering. Discover exactly what are you desiring that you think will give you complete freedom, love, abundance, or satisfaction. Research yourself deeply and explore the truth of who and what you are. Find out what societal belief habits you've been programmed with. Make a list. Check it twice. Find out exactly where and when you've been naughty or nice. Upon deeper investigation into yourself, you'll discover that the mind only becomes attached to certain thoughts that it feels are lacking from inside. Meaning, deep down inside, the being who has 3 master's degrees and 2 PhDs is some attachment to the belief that they are stupid and unintelligent. If a being is a workaholic, always seeking to attain more money, it means deep down they feel a great fear of being poor. That being feels they have to protect themselves from poverty by building up huge resources in their bank accounts. More money a being needs to accumulate, the deeper the wounding is around feeling worthy, abundant, and secure inside. When we look deep, long, honest enough inside ourselves, we see that this pendulum swing is always the case. And after you've got your list of thoughts that cause you suffering, and you still don't know how to transcend them, it's time to take a more spiritual route. Imagine what it feels like to be connected, resting, and in perfect union with the divine infinite source inside. Behind every negative belief is a positive one. And lurking beneath both of these beliefs is a secret to being free. When we find the middle path to this life, we start appreciating everything again. When we can trust and naturally relax, we will start basking in the magical divine source that is already here now. Just remember, you are always connected to a source of infinite power. Always. Forever. Just remember this infinite power and energy. There is an internal, eternal love source inside you and all of us. And this is the only place you can find true, everlasting security. Come to know and trust deep down that you have the God-given power to manifest the life of your dreams. Every one of us does. But you can see how we've gotten caught up throughout the ages because of how we've been taught, trained, programmed, however you want to say it. That we believe that we have to suffer. We don't know it, see? But we step into it all the time, that we suffer. You know, expectations, attachments, we suffer. It is vital to understand that the mind has been greatly misguided, absolutely. It has been fed beliefs that simply are smaller truths. The greatest truth of all is the one that will liberate us on every level. It's the one that doesn't need to believe anything. It knows the feeling of real, sustainable success cannot come from striving, reaching, trying to attain a bigger and better outcome. Remember, most people in the Western world are wrapped up in this striving belief system. So watch out for this societal hypnotism. It's a mass manipulative belief dis-ease going around. The desiring dis-ease is very prevalent out there. And believing what other normal people believe is the main reason why our mind continues to fall again and again and again back into the experience of suffering. Quote from Henry David Thoreau, "If one advances confidently in the direction of his or her dream and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours." A lot of people don't know how to release attachment. Well, you can't, I release it. It comes back, You ever had that happen? So you got to be ready to liberate your mind from your list of attachments. So I invite you, if that's the case, I invite you to do this little exercise. Do it before you go to bed tonight. Right? Kind of read through it again when you wake up tomorrow morning. Imagine. This works. It's visual. I would say it's mostly visual for visual people. Imagine in your right hand is a deflated orange balloon, which is attached to a string. Put the string in your left hand. Start blowing all your attachments, problems, issues, worries into this huge balloon. You have a magical breath that can breathe the thing or thought you are attached to right out of your body. The more attachment you put in, the bigger the balloon becomes. When you have emptied yourself completely, the balloon automatically closes its valve and you let go of the string. It begins to float straight up into the sky. Watch it move far, far, far away from your life. Notice if there are areas in your body where you feel a relief from the attachment. In these places, imagine breathing in a warm, golden, healing light. Feel the sense of relief and lightness in your body now that you are free from all attachments, worries, concern right now, right in the moment. Take several minutes after you have done this exercise to allow this lighter feeling to reach every cell of your body. Relax into your body and into the spiritual being you truly are. Know that you are infinite, eternal, and will never die. Be aware of this freeing, eternal feeling throughout your day, and you'll soon begin to experience a tremendous shift in your ability to effortlessly manifest the life you desire. A really good quote, and it's an unknown. If you are still looking for that one person who will change your life, take a look in the mirror. We must master our minds. There's no other way. Because the mind is not educated. on who and what we are. Just put it this way. It is completely ignorant to it. It doesn't know that love is eternal. Doesn't know. Okay? In fact, it's constantly seeking love. And people often ask, well, how the heck, how do you increase abundance in your life? The most powerful ways to increase abundance in our lives is learning how to train your mind to focus in one continuous direction for an extended period of time. This is one of the great hidden secrets to manifestation. Once the mind can focus, it will listen and obey you, your every command. See, that's crucial for all of us. Once the mind can focus, it will listen and obey your every command. It's about creating a new relationship with yourself where you honor the power within you and accept that you can create anything you desire. Mastering the mind is the golden key to magnetizing anything you want to have, do, or experience in this lifetime. Make up phrases, some that you vibrate with. Yeah, mantras, statements, quotes. You will find one that really it fits with you, that you embrace, so to speak. And this is reminding yourself. Well, see, constantly, which trains the mind and it directs the mind in a different direction. You ever have a conversation with your mind? You say to your mind, mind, you're deeply and eternally loved. I'm here to teach you. See, that's a big difference, isn't it? Here to teach you. You will never be insecure ever again. I'm here to protect you. See, these things are that you start with, and watch what happens. It's quite interesting. And when you say these, you can say, these manifesting mantras act like a tether, holding you tight to the ideal experience you're aiming towards. Most of us can't focus long. The attention span is absolutely in the basement. You ever notice that? If like the people, if it's not kept in front of them for an extended period of time, they forget about it. They just move on. Even captivating, right? Even captivating things or occurrences or energies. For a while, but then they move on. Attention span is very low. You see, when you have something, you've written it down and you use this over and over again, what it's doing is that it's strengthening your energy every time you repeat it. You're boosting your energy. You're manifesting energy, enhancing the positive emotions and mental state around your desired outcome. And as you repeat it, the mind will naturally dive deeper inside, exploring the positive, joyous feelings that arise within that thought. The insights it brings you and the energy and consciousness it expands within you come with you into your daily life and attract that which you want to manifest in your life. See, feeling financially free is an experience we can all identify with, at least most, and feel challenged by. To discover the right manifesting mantra that is catered to your specific body and mind. You'll want to find out exactly where you are specifically struggling with money in your life. Where do you feel financially inadequate, impoverished, or not at peace with money? You know, here's a dangerous thing. When one believes that money is the root of all evil, then money will be the root of all evil for them. For them. Dangerous, boy, I'll tell you. So you just get clear on what it is. This powerful exercise will help you see where you are really wanting things to change in your relationship with money. So take the top 3 to 5 most negative, energetically charged statements from your list, make a positive opposite statement out of each of them. For example, you say you write down, I never have enough money at the end of the month. This would turn into, I always have plenty of money at the end of the month. And then here comes the ego mind, comes in there and says, that's kind of stupid. Because people will say they don't have enough money for the end of the month. See what happens? Why am I saying this? Because this is the way it really is. And that's the way it will stay. And why is that? Why is it? They don't believe in themselves. And they don't trust in themselves. And they don't love themselves. And they don't have faith in themselves. See, when you're out and about, or you're by yourself, and you have a negative thought, right? Could be about anything. But you stop yourself. You go, okay, all right. Now I'm over here with this negative thought. What would be the opposite of this negative thought? Positive one, right? You say, I'll think a minute here. What positive thought do I have? And you'll come up with one. So what does that do? It reinforces positive energy in your manifesting cycle. See, we are often blind to our own wealth on our inner world and outer. Repeating these, I've been using mantras for 50 years. And at times I'll shift them, I'll change them a little bit. I use them. I practice in the morning before I get out of bed. I practice at night before I go to sleep. Practice during the day. It's a reprogramming process for the mind, for the brain. We've got, it's like consistency is also a huge factor. The more frequently we flood our subconscious mind with these positive thoughts of abundance, the more often the brain is washed clean of the negative beliefs, and the easier it becomes to clearly see the huge financial opportunity that may be right in front of your eyes. We are often blind to our own wealth on our inner world and outer. Repeating these attractions, right? These mantras, which are attractions, they're magnets. Open the gateway for feeling thankful for what we do have, as well as make room for more to enter. The key is to being open to receiving, allowing it to happen. Manifesting is really simple at the core. It's only the mind that makes things complicated. The richest person in the world may not be the one who owns billions or trillions in the bank, terrified of losing it all every day. That the most abundant being is the one who rarely thinks about how much money he or she has. You see that? The most abundant being is the one who rarely thinks about how much money he or she has and never ever feels like there's not enough. They are constantly grateful all day long for what they have. It's all a state of mind. In actuality, physical manifestation of whatever you choose, you want, money, miraculously shows up when we improve our communication with this universe. It's really about connection. And when we connect with this universe in an abundant way, we receive abundance in return. This universe is doing everything it can to gift us everything we could possibly ever want, wish, or desire. It's our job to open up and receive it. It is. All of us deserve the best of everything. Yet we're fighting ourselves every inch of life. It's our job to open up and receive it. Believe it or not, this universe wants us to have it all. Once you let go of resisting the abundance, the money gates will open up and more abundance will start flooding in. Oh, no, I can't. No, I don't deserve that. No. Oh, I feel guilty now. All that stuff it's been taught to us. So society has dictated to every one of us how to be, how to live. I recommend that people become more of a black sheep than they are in the run, in the slaughter line, being sheared and slaughtered. Be the black sheep. And you're not doing that because, I want people to notice me, I'm a black sheep. Doing it because you feel a different way about who and what you are within that body. It's all connected. No one on this planet should be suffering right in this very moment. Period. Nobody. Unless they chose to consciously, I want to suffer now. Everybody should just be zipping what they want they have. They focus on something extensively to a certain point, and it comes in. Then they just say, hey, we'll walk away from it. It's done. It's already been gauged, and it's already forming. Every now and then, see, this is something that, in the quiet time of this meditation, is to understand that every single thing, no matter what it is, we're creating it for ourselves. Period. I join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. An easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Let go of the details. Doesn't matter so much if everything is exactly how your ego thinks it should be. What's more important is your soul's purpose here. Do you want to feel the amazing freedom from finding and following your soul's mission? Whenever you get attached to this life's small details, the more tense and tight your body becomes. When your mind becomes obsessed about the tiny details of how things should be inside your little fishbowl, the less connected you feel with the amazing, divine, infinite ocean of bliss that is inside you and all around you. Take a giant leap back from this overly critical, highly detailed, scrutinizing mind for just one day. Choose to be free from all insignificant details for 24 hours and notice how your body feels. Focus instead on the life lessons that your soul came here to learn. You're here to learn how to trust life and become deeply kind, loving, and fearless. It just feels good to release the ego and its tight grip on how things should be in order for you to be happy. Everything is already perfect, exactly as it is. This universe is always far more intelligent, perfectly organized, much more than you'll be able to imagine. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Friday, May 31, 2024, around 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global daily guided meditation call. And around 9:15 or so Friday, our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. Open your heart. Let the love and magic flow in. No matter what's going on in front of you, around you, or in you.